Hello guys, welcome once more to class online. My name is Dami, and in this edition we shall be looking at if you've ever had a problem with the aspect of physics that has to do with semiconductors. We shall be treating two questions under Jamb Physics 2012, question number 46 to 50. We shall be treating two questions on semiconductors that will help you to know and to understand quite a lot on that topic. Now, don't forget that if you learned something from this video and you want to get more content from us, click on like button. We have a lot of content to send to you that will better help you understand and destroy Jamb Physics. Let's get to number 46. Which of the following particles cannot be deflected by an electric and magnetic field? Now we have gamma ray, alpha ray, wave particle, beta particle. Actually, all of them are actually wave particles. So there is nothing like wave particle. They are all wave particles. Now, but one of them cannot be deflected. Okay, cannot be deflected by electric and magnetic field. Now, the first option is gamma ray. But first of all, let's take a look at these guys one by one. Gamma ray, alpha ray, and beta ray. Now, if someone were to ask you what is gamma ray, gamma ray is under wave. We were taught about two major type of wave. We were taught about mechanical wave and electromagnetic wave. Now, under the electromagnetic wave, we have gamma ray, because all the electromagnetic wave are given by the formula redox G, and that G at the end of that formula is gamma. Now, that means gamma can move with the speed of light, but another thing about gamma ray is that it cannot be detected by electric and magnetic field, and that means that gamma ray is the one we are looking for. Not open to electric field, is not open to magnetic field. That means magnetic field and electric field cannot even see it. So that means they can't even deflect it, because they can't even perceive it. So when it is coming, it can't be seen or deflected, and that is gamma ray. But alpha particles, now anything alpha is known to be positively charged. Now alpha has to do with proton and neutron, and they are positively charged. And also they are also heavy. Now, but beta particles are negatively charged, and they have no weight, because they are only made up of what? Electrons only. So the one that cannot be deflected by magnetism and electric field is gamma ray, and that is the answer to that question, because it is an electromagnetic wave. It does not travel through any medium. It cannot also be deflected by any field, and that is the answer for that. Now, for example, a piece of radioactive material contains 1,000 atoms. If its half-life is 20 seconds, the time taken for 125 atoms to remain is what? Now, the radioactive material have a lifespan, and that lifespan is the function, is the half-life. That means the time it takes for the material to decompose, and that's what we call half-life. Now, there are some material that last for 1,000 years. Like if you have seen archaeologists, when archaeologists find bone, they will just say this bone has been for over 200 million years. Now, how did they know how long that bone had been? It is because of the half-life of that bone. So if you can see, they can show you the bone of a dinosaur and say this thing has been on this earth for over 10 million. Now, that person talking has not lived up to 100 years. But how did he know that the bone had been for that time? It is because of the half-life equation, and that is it. But now, how can we find the half-life of something? It has 1,000 atoms. If its half-life is 20 seconds, the time taken for 125 atoms to decompose is what? Now, this is what you will do. Break down 1,000. That means decompose 1,000 until you get to 125. And that will take what? How many steps? 1,000 divided by 2 is 500. Divided by 2 is 250. Divided by 2 is what? 125. And that means 3 steps. 1, 2, and 3 steps, right? So it will move from 1,000 atoms to 125 atoms in 3 steps. Okay? Then next thing, multiply this 3 by the time. That will become 3 times 20 seconds, and that will make the answer 60 seconds. It is that simple. Just break down. How long will it take for this 1,000 to disintegrate to 125? It will take 3 steps, and that's 3 times the 20 seconds, and that will give me 60 seconds as my answer. So the answer is simply 60 seconds. Now we've come to semiconductor question. The PN junction diode can act as rectifier because they what? Now, we know that P is positively charged and N is negatively charged. And P is made up of O's, while N is made up of what? Electrons, right? But now this PN junction is a combination of P and N. Okay, so when they come together, now how can we make it a rectifier? Now, is this when it conducts current when forward biased, or when it conducts current when reverse biased, or when it's block current when forward biased, or when it conducts current in both directions? Now, whenever we say the word rectifier is only possible when current is sent back, and that it does not rectify when current flow forward. Normally, it always allows current to flow in one direction, and that is in the forward bias direction. But when it is in backward bias or reverse bias, then it acts as a rectifier. So it rectifies only when it is backward bias, and that's what we have here. Whenever you hear the word rectifier, it means that it is flowing backward, and that backward flow is called reverse bias, and that only happens when you conduct current in the opposite direction. So the answer to this question is B, conduct current when reversed bias, and that is the situation it must be for it to act as a rectifier, and that is the answer for number 48. Now, in a later video, we want to dive deeply into this topic of semiconductors to explain quite a lot of things to you, because it has so many wings that must be probably was explained as a topic on its own, not just on a past question. Now, number 49 says if a reverse bias voltage is applied across a PN junction, the depletion layer width is what? Is it increased, decreased, constant, and or halved? Now, whenever you hear the word depletion layer, it is the layer between the P and the N. You know, this is a PN junction. This gap between them is called the depletion layer. And whenever there's a reverse bias, it makes this layer to become wider. It becomes wider. It becomes increased. That means that the answer to that question is simply an increase. The depletion layer gets wider when it is a backward bias voltage. But if it is a forward bias voltage, this layer gets smaller, and that is the way it is constructed for semiconductors question. That's the truth number 49. Now, number 50 says small size, low power requirement, not easily damaged by high temperature, highly durable. Which of the following are the advantages of semiconductors? Now, do you have any idea? Let's take a look. Now, semiconductors have all these things except they have all. Let's see. Now, the first one, for all semiconductors, they are more rugged than vacuum tube. Okay, you know that semiconductors are just what? Electronic stuff. So that means they are things that we use at home. They are under what? Electronics. And then we have they operate with very low voltage. Okay, they can be integrated circuits, which replaces multiple circuits. Then they have smaller size, they have less weight, and they are less expensive. Now, from the beginning of computer, you were taught that the first type of computers that were made, they were actually very big, and they also produce much heat. But now we have simple computers by the knowledge of semiconductor, because semiconductors have smaller size and they also weigh smaller weight, so they are also cheap. They are very, very cheap, and that's one thing about them. But which of them is the advantage? They have small size, that's true. They have low power requirement, that's also true. They are not easily damaged by high temperature. Is that true? They are highly durable. They last long. Yes, that's actually true. Let's see. So the first one is actually all of them. All of them are actually correct. They have small size. They have low power requirement, and they will not consume much power. Then they are not easily damaged by high temperature. Then they are highly durable. That means they last for a long time, and that is also so. The answer is D. 1 is true, 2 is true, 3 is true, and 4 is true, making the right answer to be D. option D. And that is the answer for number 50. And that brings us to the end of this series. Don't forget that if you learn something and you want to get more stuff, click on like button. We have a lot to share with you that will better help you understand physics. Until we see you guys, take care of yourself and bye for now.